KBBBL podcast. Where the extra B is for BYOBB.
Where's my elephant? Hello, what have we here?
Hello, and what we have here is KBBBL podcast, where the extra B is for BYOBB. And what's that extra B for?
It's a typo.
Fresh baguette to commemorate our French friends in this episode.
Yes. I feel like this is a very interesting episode to watch as a Canadian.
Yeah. The language barrier is less.
Yeah.
I am your host, the ungrateful swine. And with me, as always, is a couple of those little wieners that come in a can. One nice French person. And furious political thought.
Hello.
How's it going, fellas?
It's good, man.
And
Glad to be back.
Good evening.
And we have two guests with us this evening. Returning to the show, my cousin, your cousin, everyone's cousin, Dave Mader.
Hello, and good evening.
And also everyone's cousin, son of Mader, Eamon Mader. How's it going, Eamon?
I am everyone's cousin squared.
Exactly.
There you go.
You got so many cousins.
Yep. From Chateau Maison.
Yeah, so Chateau Masson.
My French is rusty, but doesn't that just mean the house? Like, isn't that?
Yeah.
Place
Something
house.
janky
House
like
place.
that.
House mansion.
Yeah, like Chateau really means place, really, but it's kind of it
House
also
place.
can kind of mean house too. So it's kind of both.
How much longer, sir?
It's a
This
tautology.
is where we're going, right? Chateau Mason.
Why is he pronouncing it M-A-W, though? Come on, Bart. It's an I.
No, even Bart's better than that. But if you didn't notice, we're here to review season 1, episode 11 of The Simpsons, The Crepes of Wrath.
Yep.
Written by George Meyer, Sam Simon, John Schwartzwelder, and John Beatty. Real writer's room style episode here.
A lot of
And
fingers in
directed
the
by
pot.
the very prolific in the first season, Wes Archer, and Milton Gray, his first appearance so far. Wes needed a little help this week.
Collaborative
Well,
effort.
Why don't we have a sit?
With a cool glass of vinegar.
Watch it. I saw that.
You certainly have done awfully well for yourself,
Oh
Spanky.
no, it's my thing screwing up. Did you hit that?
Did I hit it?
I didn't know.
Did
I didn't do
that?
it.
Davin, you're the
Oh,
one in
no.
Any of us
control
have
of
the
this.
capability, Davan.
But while we're on
Oh, no.
turnips, the turnip was what they gave Bart, right? That was his only food.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
Good pull.
quite apropos. But this is where we sit and we discuss our lives. But really, we do that a lot. But Baker, we have a regular segment on this show.
Oh, God.
Tattoos with Baker.
Yeah.
Baker gets a new tattoo every episode.
Not every
Sometimes two.
episode. Sometimes 2 an episode, yeah. I got a peonies on my knee, or a peony, rather, singular. But
I do love a peony.
it's really nice, just like black and gray. It was done at Lyle Street Tattoo Company. If anyone listening
Not
is in
gonna
the
lie, but
Halifax area.
What's that?
I'm not gonna lie, but a peony definitely sounds like a condition.
Beautiful flower from the China region.
Yeah, they're quite nice. But yeah, just a little flower on the knee. Everyone kept hyping it up like it would be really painful, but it wasn't too bad. You know, my body is just
Conditioned
accepted.
at this
Yeah,
point. That's all it is. It's like one
Yeah,
tattoo a week for the last 2 months.
Yeah, it's been pretty brisk pace.
got to cover it all, boys. But yeah, that's all that's new with me. How about you guys?
Well, not too much. Having another girl. Did I tell you guys that?
No,
No,
well, I
yeah.
knew there
No,
was
you
a
didn't
baby
know
coming,
last I spoke to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
girl.
dude. That's
How
awesome.
old
Yeah,
How old is your child now?
It's like 2 and 2 months.
Like 2 or something like that.
That's really awesome, dude. I'm super happy for you and your partner.
Way to go.
Yeah. Little family, little Skelhorn family we've got.
Way to get kids pregnant.
Yeah.
You did it, man.
Yeah, your boys can swim.
Hit me with the hashtag, Sam. Hashtag girl dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you guys saying under the turnip tree, the Dave and Eamon? What brings you here this evening?
You know,
I know, Dave, you requested this episode. Perhaps you might want to explain.
I did.
yourself.
I was looking at what was coming up, and I was like, you know what? The Crepes of Wrath, one of my all-time favorite episodes, period. Because this episode really spoke to me. A little background. I'm from Nova Scotia. I was born in Nova Scotia. My parents are from there, but I grew up in Montreal for a good part of my early years, and went to English school, but kind of was in French immersion and definitely around the French a lot. And this episode, especially with Bart learning French by the end of it, has always been a big thing that gets me pissed off. I'm like, he didn't learn it by listening to these guys for 2 months. Like, there's no way. Like, you know, he's speaking flawless
it's
French.
a thing that happens, though.
Not to me. Not to me. I didn't learn it. So, and I was around them for 11 years, not 2 months. And it's like it didn't rub off on me. So I clearly had no propensity for learning French. But beyond that, it's also like the whole idea of French culture. Like, I guess like the worst parts are represented by these two guys, like these winemaker guys or whatever with their donkey. And then there's like the one nice French person, you know. So, but I also love this episode just because of the juxtaposition with Homer and the other kid, and how like we'll get into it. But the line where Seymour's like, no doubt his customs will come across as offensive and odd to you all. So it's also about like the xenophobia of the United States and things like that. So I can read French flawlessly. I just don't have much comprehension.
I can read it pretty well myself because you just see so much of it, you know, growing up in Canada.
Yeah, like I'm not completely illiterate in French or anything, but I wouldn't call myself bilingual. And yeah, so and then I was, you know, Eamon, my son who's joined me, I was like, oh, this would be a good one. Come along. He's a bigger Simpsons fan than even me. I wouldn't say I'm the.
It's all I watched as a kid. I literally had like a DVD player hooked up to a CRT, and all we watched was Simpsons. You know. First 10 seasons.
So as a young fella, Eamon, how do you feel about these older episodes of The Simpsons that were out long before you were around?
So, well, here's the thing is that, like, I think most Simpsons fans know and accept that season 1 is significantly less good than the second season. But going back to watching this episode, I feel like we kind of dismissed it a little too much because I did like it. Just maybe not as much as, you know, where we're going to get going into season 2 and onward, you know?
Oh, it's going to get better for sure. Francis reminds us that every episode.
Right.
Well, he dishes out his low numbers.
He's holding on. He's like, if I give these all high ratings now, there's nowhere to go.
See, but it's almost a bad contrast because when we get to like what we consider the good episodes, like when I hit like the prime, like 4 to like 7 or 8 or whatever, you guys are going to be getting mad at me for giving marks that are too high. I just know how high I'm eventually going to have to go for some of my favorites, and I gotta keep the scale relative in some way.
It has.
Gorgeous as a tank, Francis.
Season 1, from what I remember, and I mean, you guys can speak on it because you've been watching it all, but for me, season 1 has great episodes, but also has a lot of very mid episodes.
Yeah, super mid.
This is one of them, I think. Why don't we get into it?
No way. This is great. This episode saved me, Davan. Wait, before we get off this turnip tree, I got to tell you. Okay. Like, so there was so in high school, I had like I somehow got like involved in this like Canadian exchange program briefly. Right. And there was going to be, so we ended up getting this kid from New Brunswick who came to us. And originally it was going to be me and Eamon's mom. We were going to go off to New Brunswick, but they were like, no, we don't want Eamon's mom. We only want you. But I was like, I'm not going to New Brunswick by myself, like living in like French rural New Brunswick. So as I know where this goes, I've seen The Simpsons, you know, and like sleeping on some hay somewhere, like picking grapes.
Didn't even sleep on the hay.
Yeah, I'll get the floor, and then they're gonna get my hat to a donkey. No, I'm not doing it. So like there was that's
they do that in rural New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Can you
Speaking
speak
of
from
which,
experience, Davan?
Yeah. What was that?
with
You speaking from
with
experience?
5
Davan?
minds here. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't go to New Brunswick unless I have to. No offense, New Brunswick
for a
listeners.
reason.
Yeah.
And the kid who
Alright,
came and lived with us, ultimately, he was just like this
Yeah.
kid who was like he showed up, me and my
Super
brother.
sweet?
Like he was like helping my mom, and when he
Oh, yeah.
left, my mom like wept. You know, 'cause it
Oh.
was like, you know, he was just so much better than the rest of us. We were just lazy. And, like,
So
more
this
like,
episode is your life, is what you're saying.
this is a very
But like a better version of it. Like
yeah,
it
like a
like worked
funnier
out better
version.
for Bart.
And there was no like Cold War espionage, but yeah, it was.
Or was
13?
there?
I love that story.
12? Dad, you were 12 when you moved to Ontario?
I was 13.
Okay.
All right, let's get into it.
Don't mind if I do.
Well, first of all, with our introspection here, the chalkboard gag was garlic gum is not funny, and neither is that chalkboard gag. No.
Yeah, it could have been better.
That's funny.
And aside from that, not
And
much to talk about with this intro, is there? It's extended.
Well,
intro.
the Homer
The coach
pops out of the
gag
chair
was
this
But
time.
we saw that already, though. That's not a new one either.
Not Homer. It's been different people every time. There was Maggie, and then Homer falls off the side once. But he
Well,
just
I'm gonna fact
how
check you
it
there.
happened doesn't change the
All right, you
stuff.
can fact check me there. Anyway, I'll get into this episode breakdown. So we have Bart did not clean his room.
Right.
Shameful.
Right.
And so then Homer slips and falls down the steps, injuring himself due to Bart's carelessness. And where are we at here?
So just just to
Luckily,
clarify,
the Krusty doll is not possessed.
this was not the first time, nor was it the second time we saw Homer pop out of the couch.
What's the best way to show that he's been lying there for a long time? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty good way.
Was Bart
Oh,
upstairs the whole time? I don't get it.
Yeah,
no, he comes
was
in
just
later,
his
doesn't
room.
he?
No, he was in his room
Oh,
the whole
was he?
time.
Yeah, it's in his room, and
Oh, yeah.
Homer's like, "You got to clean all this shit up," and then he slips on the skateboard or something.
Yeah, which is clearly
Really,
Homer's fault. As Bart rationalizes.
Absolutely.
But Davan,
No.
just real quick, there was 3 times that they've done this gag this season. This was not the second
Third time Homer
This is
pops
the
off
third
the
time
couch?
we've seen it. Yeah, the first time was
Gee.
in There's No Disgrace Like Home. And then,
Yeah.
okay, actually, my mistake. We see it. This is the second time in the Crepes of Wrath, but we're going to see it
One of those
more time.
times he falls off the side. It's a little different. Like it just goes, they go boop, 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 and he falls off the end. But
The Wikipedia does not lie, my friend. But if you want
How
to,
could it?
Sometimes.
maybe we slipped into a different dimension.
No, but I
You
find
call
this
it
funny
fake-
because I was
Fakepedia.
saying last episode, and like maybe I'm wrong on this, but I was talking about how they hadn't yet used the format, which becomes really popular in Simpsons, where the first piece and the first storyline they introduce serves no other purpose other than to set up why the rest of the episode has to happen.
Right.
Unless I'm like remembering wrong, this is the first time they do this, where the whole clean up your room, cherry bomb school thing is a storyline that
Yep.
becomes insignificant. The only reason is to give a reason for the exchange student storyline
Right.
to take place.
A cherry bomb. I thought I blew all you guys up.
another thing they don't show or try to show kids that you could actually do and sell these things to kids anymore is cherry bombs and things like that. Little explosives for children.
But there's a lot of crazy toys like that. Long darts. Different
I
yeah,
types.
Long
remember
darts are just
cherry
deadly
bombs being
weapons.
available when I was a kid. Did you guys have access to cherry bombs?
No,
No.
I wish that'd be fun.
Firecracker or like firecrackers.
Firecrackers.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little different,
firecrackers.
though. You're not going to hurt someone with the
Sparklers.
firecracker.
I'm not gonna
Not without ingenuity.
And if you got your hand closed around it when it goes off, you'll get hurt.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like you
that's
got a closed
called being
fist.
stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, like they say in Armageddon, your wife will be opening your ketchup bottles for you for the rest of your life. That's like the whole analogy he uses to talk about going up and blowing up the space rock in Armageddon.
Something I find very interesting, and it's the first time I've gotten to talk about it, is that how different a lot of characters are in season 1. Mainly, Seymour's mother.
I don't think we see this version of Agnes ever again.
Agnes, thank you. Yeah, she's a lot
polite, old nanny, like whatever. I don't think that ever comes back.
No,
she's a lot nicer.
This one's she's much nicer.
Watch it. I saw that.
You certainly have done awfully well for yourself, Spanky.
Yeah, how did we all forget that? Like, none of us remember that. Remember that, Baker?
I definitely do not.
That came up in the trivia, and we're all like, "Where did they call him Spanky?"
Now that it comes up, it seems obvious that we didn't. That we didn't
for
remember.
How does one get the nickname Spanky?
So he's giving his mother a tour of the school, and Bart shows Milhouse and Lewis and Richard the cherry bomb, and he's going to flush it down the toilet right at the same time as Agnes Skinner is going to the little girl's room, as she says. And,
it was like a bidet. It was like just giving
yeah, true.
It was giving her help. The force of the explosion blows her off the toilet seat like that.
Yeah,
so exaggerated.
Yeah, I think they tested this on MythBusters that you can't like make that kind of.
Oh, really?
I think they did. Funny. Yeah, okay. They tried blowing up a bucket.
But
you certainly have done.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They just meant for it to happen. I don't think they intended it to happen at the same time Agnes was on the toilet.
No, they weren't trying to target.
No.
Just a coincidence. Yeah,
I don't think Bart would have even done that.
No, it's just an accident, but it was a horribly timed, unfortunate accident.
So let's reward him with an exchange program.
Well, it's not really a reward.
It's supposed to be punishment, I guess.
It is a punishment. He drinks antifreeze. He's starved. He's frozen.
They did.
It gets bad.
He sleeps on a fucking.
But Marge doesn't understand this when it's pitched. Like she doesn't.
Well, yeah.
Because their motivation is it should be a reward, but it's like we just want to motive her hair for fucking 2 months or whatever, right?
It's a door, Marge, and it's
Homer. Dude, I wish I had one of those bells. Just like, hey, Davan, Davan, sound effect.
Marge, bring me 2 of those little wieners, and like, yeah.
Yeah, this was like me when I'm sick. Like that, I'm like, Jane.
Principal Skinner's here.
Oh, hello, Principal Skinner. I'd get up, but the boy crippled me.
Mm-hmm. I understand completely.
Probably my biggest laugh of the whole episode. Actually, I cackled
the whole episode, but
understand.
They should bond more over that.
Totally professional.
They should be best friends, really.
They do.
They were really sharps together.
Episode.
They were in the B sharps.
Yeah.
This come, but we don't know that yet.
Tuck in your shirt. Watch
oh my God, my freaking
you certainly have done.
Soundboard is broken. It keeps playing that clip over and over again. That keeps happening on mine. Have you ever run into that, Dave?
No, only if I throw if you hit like the loop button sometimes.
Maybe I don't know where that is. Maybe
try me, sir.
Try me, sir.
Oh my goodness,
that was a Cisco.
Little Benjamin Cisco there.
We're getting the crossover.
Benjamin Cisco is a startling fella.
Cisco's welcome on
so yeah,
podcast anytime.
Skinner's plan is deport the young lad.
I think it behooves us all to consider deportation.
Deportation?
What
you mean kick Bart out of the country?
Hear him out, Mark.
So glib.
Really good
joke. I laughed at that one too.
Yeah. I will say this scene has like the best jokes in the episode.
Oh yeah.
I was laughing every time with the French guys. I'm laughing.
It's really very over the top offensive. I love it. I love
it's
to have
so
sleazy,
accurate,
so sleazy.
Yeah, they're so poorly portrayed. Like,
no, they're not.
He thinks wanted to show up because he thinks this episode is very accurate.
This is like a documentary.
It's like no, this
is a documentary on the fence.
That's why this is your favorite episode. This is your life story.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Simpsons are going to get a little Albanian boy named Adil Hoxha. And oh my God, why is my thing broken? This has happened so many times with my soundboard.
It's a very professional podcast.
Oh my God,
obviously.
I know I'm working on my soundboard. So in France, Bart is greeted by 2 winemakers named César and Hugues.
Who
And they head
voices
off to
them?
the.
Because
Ugalin. It sounds very familiar.
yeah,
That's all I want to say.
I feel like Dan Castelletta is one of these voices.
Yeah,
Albert Brooks is one of them.
Albert Brooks, yeah.
I think so.
Really?
Dès que les garçons
Yeah.
américains arrivent,
Let me
tes
double check.
jeux d'esclavage sont finis.
Let me double check, but I think so.
They definitely sound like English guys reading French. but-
Escape is impossible.
Yeah.
My name is César. This is my nephew, Huguelin.
Oh, they're nephew and uncle? Is that what they are? Oh,
Yeah, their nephew. and
apparently.
uncle.
I just thought they were two guys. Honestly, I completely missed that.
I've always missed that part of it.
So yeah, Bart's made to collect grapes. Sleep on the floor. All
Stole
kinds
his hat.
of terrible
He stole his red
things.
hat, gave it to a donkey.
Oh,
Maurice.
Yeah.
He goes
I
for
like too
some
before when
grapes
Bart's
there.
pulling up. They're telling Maurice that like he's comforting Maurice. He's like, your days of hard labor are over. This kid's gonna do everything for us.
Yes. They basically like have Bart as a slave, effectively.
Yeah, Bart just tries
Your
to
turn.
eat a.
Watch it.
Oh my god!
I think I was wrong about Albert
I
Brooks.
mean,
Okay,
Ja-
one of them.
when I
I'll
make
have
mine
his
with
voice
Jeff,
this
I feel like we would probably get arrested for that, but otherwise, yes.
All right,
I'd
let's try
actually be
this
down
again
for that.
here. Okay,
For what? What? Did I miss something?
I am. I'm back here. All right.
If you shut up and do exactly what we say, the time will pass more quickly.
Mm-hmm. That goes for you guys too.
Then the boosh.
That's actually not bad
Learn
advice.
something to go
Just
with
shut
the
up and
turnip.
time will pass
Quiet.
more quickly.
When you work like a
Use that
man,
at
we
work.
will feed
Feed you like a
Now
man.
go to sleep.
Yeah, one of them is clearly whoever does Krusty.
With Dan Castelletta. That's
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Castle.
okay, then yeah, one of them's Dan Castellaneta then.
for sure.
Well,
And
Krusty hasn't been introduced yet, actually, as a character, has he?
Yeah,
he
yeah,
has.
yeah. A
He
couple
has.
times.
I thought that was
His
in the
episode's next.
episode, because
No,
that's the episode
That's
It's
his
already-
big one.
He's been
Isn't it?
introduced for a few episodes.
No, Sancho Bob was there. He didn't say anything, and he looks a lot different, but he was
Yeah,
in an
he was
earlier
there.
episode too.
Yeah, remember,
Yeah.
kids, if you know who encourages people to turn in the person who cut off Jebediah Springfield's head,
That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
turn him in. You'll get a free kazoo.
A slide whistle, I believe it is.
oh
Yeah, slide
that's
whistle.
right. That's right. Slide.
Bart catches them pouring antifreeze in the wine as well,
Right.
and they force him to drink it. They're like, look, I bet it doesn't even make him go blind.
Well, okay, can I ask a question? Is this a thing? Is pouring antifreeze in wine a thing?
I'm going to talk
Yes.
about that in a segment later in the show.
It
Okay.
is.
So
But I do love
will
that
answer
the French
question.
word for antifreeze is antifreeze.
Hey, why? If it's not broken, why fix it?
Yeah.
Oh man! So they're back in Springfield, and Adil is getting to know the new family and getting to know Springfield. He's a curious young lad, you might say.
A shutterbug.
Bit of a shutterbug. That's true. That's true. Here we go.
You may find his accent peculiar. Certain aspects of his culture may seem absurd,
Absurd.
perhaps even offensive.
Offensive. That's my favorite.
But I urge you all to give little Adil the benefit of the doubt. In this way, and only in this way, can we hope to better understand our backward neighbors throughout the world.
The world.
Our
Oh, it's.
backward neighbors.
I love how
Only
meta
in
this
this way.
is. I love how how the writers are taking a shot at America and how America just like even as we know as Canadians, sometimes Americans are like, "Why are you so weird?" Like it's everyone is weird to them but them.
It's an absolute idea that the world revolves around them and their experience, and everything else is what's.
Do you know what
What's
that
wrong or
reminds me
awkward?
of? Remember it's Homer's shirt where it's nothing can or just try and stop us, and it's Uncle Sam and he's taking a bite out of the earth. You guys remember that? Homer's insanely
Although
offensive
officially I am
shirt.
required to hate you, I want you to know I do not feel it in my heart.
Oh,
It's
Officially,
I
required.
do hate you because this is
Sure,
this is
right.
before the end of the Cold War is not over yet, right?
Yeah, I think that this
Later.
is like
This
right
is still
when the
the
Cold
80s.
War, the Iron
Yeah.
Curtain is falling apart. Right when this
Like,
is airing.
right
I know.
now.
So,
Yeah, like right
Albania
now.
was still part of the USSR.
April of 1990, this aired, so they would have
Yeah.
been like working on this for at least 8 months before that. So they were working on this in '89. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
must say that as someone who never grew up, who was born after the Cold War, I forgot how long it actually went on for. It went on for like 40 years.
Like 40 years.
Yeah, it's a
for
long
us, it was like
50s until
5
the
or 6.
90s.
generational thing. I didn't really like. I was born in '91, so I didn't really. Experience the
Oh,
Cold
I'm
War.
born in '83, so like this, I don't remember it. I remember when it ended. I remember it being on
Yeah.
the news when like Russia.
Everyone was
Russia
always
started.
talking about it. Like even in
But-
pop culture,
Same
you watch
here.
a
Like,
sitcom
I
and
was
talk about it. Like,
a kid when it was airing. I was 85, but like by the time that, by the time it even ended, like I wasn't old enough to have a comprehension of what any of it meant.
Must crush capitalism.
To this day, though, this is, I think, the most notable use of Albania in anything I've ever seen.
Oh, Dilbert has a
absolutely.
good use of Albania.
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
think.
well, I'm not
That's
familiar
and
with Dilbert enough. I guess.
Or
but,
is
like,
it Albania or a fictional country that sounds like Albania? Maybe I'm getting it mixed up. But you're quite
How
right.
can you defend a country where 5% of the people control 95% of the wealth?
I'm defending a country where people can think and
5%.
act and worship any way they want.
Cannot.
Can too.
Cannot.
Oh, no.
Too.
I'm
Get
with the
nuts.
sparrow.
I
here,
love
man.
Homer's line
I'm with the
after,
sparrow as well.
after this because it's probably the most intelligent Homer sounded in the entire show.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or when you just parents them there? Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they're
maybe
here.
his-
Lisa's right about America being the land of opportunity, and maybe Adil has a point about the machinery of capitalism being oiled with the blood of the workers.
That's funny.
Hey, children,
I
don't
laugh
play.
at that too.
You're both
Yeah.
right.
Is it-
Never in later seasons, right?
and they are both right. Isn't that
Yeah.
fun? You know?
There is the
Yeah.
episode
What is-
where Homer has the crayon removed from his brain, and then he becomes quite intelligent.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously, but
Yeah, right.
But
I mean,
yeah,
like,
for the most
this
part,
form-
he this is a rare moment of intellect.
yeah,
from
of his
Homer.
intelligence.
Yeah, I think it's weird too that Lisa's arguing the opposite side of the fence, that like America's a land of opportunity, but in later seasons she would have been probably smart enough to what I feel like she would have been more on the opposite end with a deal being like where you live in a totally like corrupt government.
Still
She's a
buying
little
in.
more cynical at that
Yeah.
point, right?
I think
she's
she's
not a vegetarian yet, right? She's
I
still
think she's
evolving.
mainly arguing
Glossy-eyed
that-
80s.
she's mainly arguing in comparison to Albania. I think is the point.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Right.
We've always
it's like-
blamed ourselves, but I guess it's pretty clear which cylinder wasn't firing.
Homer. Your paper-thin commitment to your children sends shivers down my spine. May I be excused?
Great Lisa.
Like Lisa doesn't always have the funniest lines, but she has some of the best lines.
She's the moral
Yeah.
compass too, because again, she's
Yeah.
just like, "Hey, fucko! Like, you do you realize what you're saying? Like, you're just basically selling out your real son for, a
Pretty obvious
perceived
which
more
cylinder
obedient
wasn't
son."
firing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
And when that
rough,
kid
man.
went home
That's
from New
harsh.
Brunswick, my mother wept. I tell you, like this is a kid who did chores, who cleaned up after himself.
always
You
said,
know, like,
"Please, thank you,
Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am,
Yeah,
no,
like
ma'am."
he was doing everything
Oh,
right. You know?
bastard.
I'm
At a
pretty sure
time when
that
me and my
is-
brothers were doing everything wrong.
season 6.
So-
should be
Oh my
good.
god. So Adil wants to go see Homer's job. Papa Homer. No, Papa Homer's what Peppy calls him. He just calls him Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
the
right
ass.
when he gets
What's
up and
that?
running.
Oh, just
Yeah.
some blueprints a deal wanted. I'm telling you, he's such a curious little Dickens. I bet he could build a nuclear power plant if he wanted to.
So precocious.
Oh, Homer. You're almost there. You almost figured it out.
Almost there.
Oh, jeez.
Homer
Yeah, he
figures
takes
out
him
how to
through there.
build a power plant too. He just adds the little wind stripes because they're spiffy looking, and he wins the
True.
contest.
And I have these racing stripes, which I think are pretty sharp.
Yeah,
Agreed.
dude.
Get some wings for wind resistance.
But it
Yeah.
actually generates power. It's powering this room. I'm sorry.
Nobody
Different
likes to show
episode.
off.
Different episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I love that episode.
This is a contest for children. Yeah, and Homer's beating the pants off him. Anyway.
And Homer beat their brains out is what he
Yeah,
said.
he
What-
beat their brains out.
What's
So
a
good.
worse nickname, Grimy or
Oh,
Spanky?
good.
Spanky.
Yeah,
Spanky, because you know it comes from somewhere from his childhood.
Yeah.
So There's a bit of spying going on now back in France.
On a déjà perdu 3 jours.
Allons, envoie leur garçon.
Oh. Oh, Bart.
Bart. They're gonna send Bart into town because it's raining, and they need more antifreeze.
Yeah.
It's actually that's not even the French word for antifreeze. It's antigel.
Well, tell that to the writers.
Is that not the joke?
You telling me the
that's
Simpsons writers got it wrong?
Do you think they did it on purpose? They think
Possibly they did it on purpose. They may have done it either as a joke or just to really hammer home what it is that Bart's getting, just so the English-speaking audience, there's no ambiguity.
Yeah. So then Bart runs up, or runs into a police officer.
You're a policeman, aren't you?
Excusez-moi, je ne parle pas anglais.
Je ne parle pas anglais.
These 2 guys I'm staying with, they work me day and night. They don't feed me. They make me sleep on
Tiens, petit garçon, voilà un bonbon.
Yeah, voilà un bonbon.
I don't want no candy, dude.
Yeah, French policemen wear capes, I guess.
Yeah, dude, he looks like some kind of. He looks like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, man.
Anybody could have learned this dumb language by now. Here I've listened to nothing but French for the past 2 mois. Et je ne sais pas un mot.
No effing way. No
way.
Dave's had enough.
Dave, you lived around an English family. I think it's a little different.
There's no way he would learn French by listening to those two. I am telling you. Okay?
Yeah, but that's what's funny about it. That's why
at the very least there'd be no miraculous switch. Like I don't understand any of it. That instantly
obviously not. But
it's like a switch that goes off. It's great.
It's that funny line earlier, though, when Skinner's talking to Marge and Homer. He's just like, "Look, we find that children can pick up the language in a matter in as little as a few weeks."
Yeah,
and he's just like, "How do you think Bart's gonna do?" He's like, "We figure he'll get enough to get by."
For a guy who spent hours and hours and hours in French tutoring trying to learn French, I am telling you,
you were around an English-speaking family.
It doesn't matter, Eamon. I was in French immersion class. For years.
Maybe you're right about the fact that it's incredibly difficult to learn French, and maybe Eamon is right that you were living in an English family. You know,
French just being oiled by the blood of the workers.
I'm playing the peacekeeper like Homer. You guys figure it out. But I do agree with you. It's not realistic, but I think that's kind of the point. I think it's that it's supposed to be a silly moment.
This is specifically only something that bothers me because I had a hard time learning French.
You just watched it and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I'm like, "What is this?" Like, you know, they're thumbing their nose at me. These writers.
Ils mettent antifreeze de l'eau et ils ont donné mon chapeau rouge à l'un.
De l'antifreeze dans le vin? Oh, mais c'est sérieux ça.
Oh, the antifreeze in the wine. This is serious.
Well, my favorite part of that is that he says he
doesn't care about the child labor
in the wine, and they stole my red cap and gave it to
a donkey.
I forgot how much
that's such
of
a child priority. That's such a child priority thing.
Yeah,
the red hat. Sure. It's such a character. I forgot.
He loves his hat. Yeah, the camping episode.
Yeah, like, the box factory.
Right? Like eventually.
Eventually, it stops.
César and Ugalin. A lot of things do, and that's when the show stops being a thing. Here's Bart out in the rain. Terrible, terrible time. So then they rescue him and they arrest the Ugalin and César. It's like the only winemaking you will be doing now is in prison.
Which is hilarious.
Don't they have like shotguns pointed at them? I think I saw.
I think they do.
So he's going to prison?
No. We've arranged an exchange for one of our own men caught in Albania.
So I got a little ahead of myself there. But a deal has been caught as well. The Sparrow.
Oh, everything's funny with him, like taking the pictures in the nuclear power plant.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know,
Homer's
jumping in front of him.
Jumping in the way.
Taking off his radiation suit, you know, for the picture.
And then he's just like, "Oh, a deal! There you are." He just sabotages him by accident.
And that's
where he stays. Somewhere with morals, I guess.
Like they go to the wrong house, and it's like next door to the Simpsons, and Homer just comes out, just like, "Oh, a deal would love to see all this." Like a deal, the Sparrow.
He's like, "Hey, a deal!" You know,
it's a deal.
Honestly, Adil kind of fucks up too, though, because he drops the mic out the window.
mic,
Like that's on him.
That's fair.
Buy a deal. I'll send you those civil defense plans you wanted.
That was funny too.
I love
another
that
good
so much.
laugh.
He doesn't even.
He's so clueless to like.
I
this
don't
whole
think you
thing.
included it in here, but my favorite joke of the episode was when they say, "Oh, Bart's going to the exchange program," and then both
Homer and he gets off the couch, right? And high fives Skinner.
Yeah, he jumps right up. He's supposed to be injured.
After he couldn't get up, and he had to get Marge to make him a grilled cheese sandwich and little wieners and whatever else he wanted. But
yeah, my favorite.
And then, of course, the classic line.
So basically, I met one nice French person.
And he didn't even speak English.
No, he did not. All right. Well, crap. I'm looking for it. We have a segment that comes up now, but I am messing it up.
So basically,
whoops, oh my God! Stop. I gotta fix this.
Two nice French people. I'm seeing double.
We're
4
gonna-
soundboards.
We're gonna.
Oh,
no!
man,
Wait.
I love that gag
This is the
so
next.
much.
Yeah, so good.
Send in those soulful and doleful schmaltz by the bowlful.
It's one of the best episodes they ever made.
Oh yeah, the Red Hot.
Yeah,
is it
he's
Red
great.
Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, it is.
His name is Milton Van Horn.
Yeah. What I like is I'd really want to hug and kiss you. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's
can
better.
appreciate that.
That would have been
Much
better lyrics in the first place. Yeah.
Everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we'll start with you, Francis. Who's your sideshow spotlight this episode?
Oh fuck! I didn't even think about this ahead of time.
We'll come back to you, Baker. Who's your sideshow?
Come back to me. I gotta.
Who's your
What's the name of
sideshow spotlight?
The donkey. I'm gonna go with the donkey.
Maurice?
Yeah, Maurice. That's it. Yeah. Because I figure you guys are gonna cover some of the other fun ones. I just go with a little sillier choice. But yeah, Maurice the donkey. Why not? He's fun.
Maurice. Why not? What about you, Dave?
I'd say it's those two French guys running the vineyards.
Is that an Ugalin?
Yeah. What are their names again? Sorry, I've never.
Cesar and Ugalin.
Ugalin. That's
Ugalin.
Ugalin.
I looked it up. In the world, it's like the 4,800,000th most popular name on earth.
Like it's a pretty obscure French name, but even Cesar is a bit unusual. But okay, Cesar and Ugalin. But those two, like Dan Castellaneta and whoever did the other voice.
I'm gonna find it out right now. I want to find out. Who did the
They
voice.
for that
like just so funny in the way they did these characters and the way that they just have such disdain for Americans, and they're just like they are lower than donkeys to us, and like it's just it's just like so funny.
So what is the segment about?
Who do you think was the funniest or best, your most favorite side character in this episode?
Honestly,
not one of the Simpsons.
Yeah, okay. Probably a deal.
Yeah, great
He was
choice.
very funny.
Yeah.
All right, for
Yeah,
me,
the backup.
Skinner was hilarious. This
Skinner
episode.
was really good too. Yeah.
So I'm going.
Yeah, I was gonna say Skinner too. He had some good lines.
All
this
right.
episode, like
Yeah, he
And then
did.
Davan?
Yeah, Skinner.
Skinner.
Yeah, I went Skinner. Oh, I didn't show this picture, but there's a deal in the. Oh yeah, I actually had a
Sparrow.
gif of that.
Oh no, he's Sparrow.
So Sparrow, we meet again.
Yeah, like they're a couple of old spies or whatever. You know?
And look, the American one sort of has this Bart thing going on, like a
Yeah.
smarter,
I was thinking
more
too.
capable Bart. I feel like they're going for there.
Sometimes I think I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah, they're like,
Okay,
Yeah.
I totally goofed saying it was Albert Brooks. It's actually it's just Castellaneta and oh gosh, I just
Shearer or
lost it.
something.
Terry Shearer?
Yeah, Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
Okay, Terry Shearer.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's just those guys being amazing as usual. Like they do
Yeah,
so much
just doing
heavy lifting for the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Shearer does a lot of the heavy side character lifting for sure. All right, let's moving on too.
This is a pretzel town, pretty boy.
What if your family don't like bread?
It's funny because it's true.
Well absorbed.
Get your hand off my car.
Get your hand off my car. What if they don't like bread? What if they like memes? All right, what do you got for us this week, Fat Maddie?
I'm gonna throw up. You've been depressed enough for today. I just did this to highlight. It goes like again to this whole American ignorance and like them portraying like a foreign nation a certain way. Just the way Adil phrases things the entire way is just like the entire episode. Just the turns of phrases he uses to describe an everyday situation, even though his English is like basically perfect. Like I got a real kick out of that the whole way through.
Yeah,
Good choice. That was a pretty great one. Yep, good choice.
I thought you were gonna go with the one nice Frenchman, but that's a good choice as well.
But yeah.
I'm just wondering, what's the point? Would it make any difference at all if I never existed? How can we sleep at night when there's so much suffering in the world?
How can we sleep tonight, Baker?
Tell me.
I mean, this episode to me, it seems like it's focusing on like the American perspective on the world versus an outsider perspective. We talked about it a little bit already, like how, the sparrow. I just like calling him the sparrow. By the way, it's much more fun than but the sparrow, his outsider perspective on things as an Albanian. Skinner's really kind of like messed up comments about him being backward and like the American idea that like they have to like police the world and like lift up other nations. It's interesting. I feel like again it's something that's a bit of a vestige from the 90s. After the Iraq War with George H.W. Bush or George W. Bush rather, and then Donald Trump. Like I think the kind of the mystique around America has started to fall away. The idea that they're this shining beacon for the rest of the world. Like we talk about how Lisa, it's kind of naive of her to be like hyping up American freedom. But you still hear that a lot.
She opens her eyes eventually.
Well, I think it's important to remember that like this is like still the Cold War, and after World War II, the America became like the world's big superpower, Russia being the other one, and they competed. But America like patrolled the world's oceans for basically they only really stopped in the recent decades. They
still do.
They still do, but not as much as
military bases in most countries in the world,
basically everywhere.
they were kind of the oceans police at least.
Very real sense they were policing the world, definitely.
But I definitely agree with you that this is a look at like how America looks at the rest of the world and how the rest of the world looks at America. Like it's kind of like both sides of the coin.
And the Simpsons are poking fun at that lofty ideals, I think, that the Americans hold themselves to. When Skinner says those things about like, how backward the Albanians are, I think we are supposed to
You'll even find them offensive.
Yeah. I think that we're supposed to. You go, Francis. You go.
No, what's funny about Skinner in this, and this is almost seems unintentional because I don't think this part of his character has been written, but like these backwards comments he's making about nations outside of America, and then later they work into him being this like grizzled Vietnam veteran later in there.
Yeah.
Like so you almost get this one side who's an educator, but this other side who's also this like
right
hardened war veteran who might have some very strong views at like anti-American people and like politics, right?
There's just that scene where he closes the blinds and he goes into this long overly
like when they do like the Republican scenes in like the show. Like I know Dr. Hibbert's usually there, and like Mr. Burns. Is he one of them too? Like is he one of the who is in like the underground Republican?
I'd have to check. I don't know.
It seems like he would fit in with them. But
let me try to find that out. I forgot Dr. Hibbert is also one of those guys too, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Greeks knew it. The Carthaginians knew it. Now you know it.
I will teach you.
You're a very good teacher.
Yes, I am a very good teacher, and I can teach you everything.
You guys ready to learn everything?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to answer your question, Eamon. Yes, antifreeze in wine is a thing, and specifically in the 1985 Austrian diethylene glycol wine scandal. So it wasn't France. It was Austria.
Okay.
And they put it in there because it sweetens it and makes it more full-bodied, like a late harvest wine, without having to late harvest it or do any of that work.
This very well could still be happening too. It's one of those things that's hard to track sometimes.
Many of these Austrian wines were exported to West Germany, some of them in bulk to be bottled at large-scale West German bottling facilities. The scandal was uncovered by wine laboratories performing quality controls in West Germany. So it was based on, like, Simpsons do that a lot. Like, they
German
base a lot of
playbook.
episodes
Yeah.
on actual news stories.
Well, yeah, the fact that they make Bart drink that, and he's like, "There's antifreeze in it," which is like, they're like trying to see if he goes blind or if he dies. It's probably the darkest part of the thing.
Yeah, it's
like,
really dark.
It really is.
It's really dark moment for The Simpsons. Also, really quickly, the Republican underground group includes Rainier Wolfcastle, Dr.
Right.
Hibbert. What's her name? Reverend Lovejoy's wife, Helen Lovejoy, the
Helen
Texan
Lovejoy.
who loves to fire his guns in the air all the time.
Yeah.
Dracula, and then also Tony Montana,
but not Skinner.
No,
But,
at least
yeah.
not in that one.
Not in
Excuse
that
me,
one.
at least not in that one. There might be
Virginia's in Eastern Europe there. So.
It's just not like on the other side of the
it's
sea
next to
from
Greece.
Italy, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, but
It's
for
on
whatever
the
reason-
Adriatic Sea. It's next to Greece and Macedonia. It's part of the Balkans. Very, very small. Cool culture, though. Interesting. people.
I wonder if I was an Albanian looking at this episode, if I don't think I would feel like my culture was necessarily represented, because it just feels like
No.
he's not really any culture. He's just like Soviet kind of.
Yeah,
It's
vaguely
a
so.
smash of like anti-American stereotypes thrown into this dude, and they're like, no one's gonna know.
Right, and
Never
we
mind,
still
we don't
don't.
even
We're
know
like,
what
is
Albania
this Albania? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, probably
Yeah.
not, but yeah.
Now, let's have even more fun.
Now it's time for more
Okay.
fun with Principal Skelhorn. Now, this is going to be 4 contestants, so this will be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody to
Everybody
challenge
keep-
Francis.
Yeah, someone to. Well,
I don't know,
Dave
I
has
think
beaten Francis once before.
They won last time.
I know. That's what I'm
So-
saying. I can't beat Francis. I need somebody.
Last
to-
one was pretty close that we did.
Yeah. I've
Well,
come-
Baker's
You
be
started
close
out. You started out in the lead. I just caught up, and
It's like a trivia, right?
I think
Eamon?
one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah, we'll have 3 different types of questions here, but they're all trivia. Just shout out the answer if you know it. Hopefully, there's no lag. If there is, then, well,
We'll
whoever
deal
I hear first
We'll
wins.
deal with it. Yeah. Whoever Davan hears first.
Yeah. So, question 1. Who said this quote? I'll keep it short and sweet. Family, religion,
Burns.
friendship. I heard cousin Dave first.
I didn't say anything. It wasn't me.
That was me.
It was me and Baker, but I was ahead of him in my world, but he might have got it before me.
Oh, then
whatever.
if it wasn't cousin Dave, it was Francis. I heard someone right before Baker. I just thought it was cousin Dave.
Okay,
Did
well,
you
yeah,
hear
we
Burns or Mr. Burns?
It was Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I
It
said
definitely
Mr.
wasn't
Burns.
me,
He said Burns. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
These are the 3 demons you must slay if you wish to.
I'm just
succeed
happy
in
I
this.
got it. And I remembered that.
Yeah,
quote.
yeah. You almost got in there. That was real close. All right, number 2. Hey, yuts, guns aren't toys. They're for family protection, hunting dangerous and
Krusty.
delicious animals.
Yeah.
Krusty the Clown.
Is it?
Another
Oh.
point for France.
Keeping
I
the
know
The
that's
King of
true.
England out of your face.
Yeah, keeping the King of England out of your face. You got
So we
it.
should let
damn
we should
King of
let
England.
Dave Eamon know that you don't have to wait for the quote to finish or scroll
Oh,
through. Like
yeah,
you know,
okay.
color it out. Yeah.
I
You
was-
know what?
I'm
I'm changing that rule right now. You do have to wait for me to stop or say the whole thing, because then
So
the
you have to wait
audience
for
can hear
you
the
to
question.
say it. Okay.
Yeah.
So some kind of Albanian tyrant now. He's
Yeah. No, I think that's better. All right, number 3. Porky Pig isn't a person. He's a pig, and he's not even a real pig.
Lisa?
Homer.
This one.
Marge?
I don't know if I can remember this
Bart?
one.
That's
Ned.
Ned.
What's that from?
Ned
What
Flanders.
episode?
Homer's like going on about Porky Pig to him or something, and Ned Flanders loses it. He's like, Porky Pig isn't a person. Because he's like, yeah, I remember that.
What episode is this? Do you remember?
Oh, I'm not sure what episode.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'll take
like,
your
Word for it.
Stupid,
I
sexy.
tested all
Flanders.
these and made sure they were in the first 10, 12 seasons for sure. All right, next one. What does this guy really want?
When do we get our gun? We need our guns.
Yep. Yeah, he wants the.
I told you won't get your gun until you tell me your name.
I'm sick of all your rules. Yeah. All right. 2 Francis, 1 Baker. All right. What is this lady doing?
She's auditioning for Streetcar Named Desire.
Desire.
Yeah.
She's for
Thing
Blanche.
for Streetcar.
For Blanche Dubois.
Blanche Dubois, yeah, that's it.
That's like we tied, or I guess you started saying it.
I'm giving 1 point Baker for Streetcar Named Desire. I'm giving 1 point Dave for Blanche Dubois.
I wasn't as specific as you guys, so you guys should.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was singing. I was just like,
that is a great episode.
Yeah,
that's a great episode.
Dude, what is it like? His play? Oh,
Ooh,
that's what? Lisa. That's Marge in the Itchy and Scratchy cartoon when she's the episode where she's like being puritanical and trying to get them off the air. But I can't remember what her character's called in that cartoon. But it's one of the animators sees her outside like protesting, and he's like, and he like draws her.
Like draws her, yeah.
Yeah.
Disapproving squirrel.
Disapproving squirrel. That's not even clever. It's so dumb.
All right. Who is this?
Billy. Is that Billy from the McGarnagle thing?
Is it
Where
like?
he's
Yeah, he's like. Is he the kid from yeah, like the meat
where he's from, I
factory?
just know his name.
Where
Yeah,
where,
it's
where,
Meat
where Troy
Factory
McClure's
kid.
like, I'll show you how meat's made. Come along, Tommy or Billy.
It's either Jimmy or Billy.
What does DNA stand
Johnny.
for?
It's not that character. You guys are trying to come up with the name of the character. It is not.
Okay. Well, I think give us a couple seconds, but I don't
It's not
think
a
I
Troy
can get it.
McClure like commercial
Nope.
or something. Oh,
That
him
is
again.
Bort.
Bort. Oh, come
That's
along,
Bort.
Bort. Excuse me, ma'am. Were you
Bort?
talking to me?
who's Bort?
Do you remember
You
the
don't
episode?
remember Bort?
The Bort license
Excuse
plate?
me, my son is also named Bort.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
yes.
classic.
You know what? Great question, Davin, because that is
That's a good
not
pull.
an obscure joke. It's a very popular joke, but that's a super obscure piece.
Yeah, I
of
never
that
would have
moment.
recognized the boy. I know the
Thanks,
quote,
man.
but the boy is.
Yeah, I know what
yeah.
that is.
We got a close game here.
Mrs.
fellas.
Simpson, please collect your older, balder, fatter son. God, I love it so much.
That is a good one. All right,
Fourth
there's
season
4
might
more
have some of the
questions.
best episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Question 8. Why did Sherry Bobbins dump groundskeeper Willie?
She got her sight
she,
back.
Yeah, I got her sight back. Yeah.
She got her sight back. Francis in on that one.
Suddenly, the ugliest man in Scotland wasn't good enough for you.
Okay, number 9. What is Mr. Burns' favorite
It's
sweater?
made real
made
gorilla
out of?
chest. Or real
it's the
gorilla.
best.
Yeah, real gorilla.
Irish setter.
See my vet made of Irish setter. Yeah,
setter,
that's
yeah.
I was
Francis,
getting
you're
there.
So good, man.
I was.
You're so good.
Yeah, Francis is it like the savant?
But I thought
the
the
co-host
sweat, yeah.
on this show.
Come see my sweater.
Authentic Irish.
I was
made
thinking
of
his
grizzly
vest.
bear underwear.
The vest was like a gorilla chest.
Yeah,
the gorilla chest
You're
is
in with the
good.
gorilla
Yeah,
chest, but
I
that
got
was a
the
vest.
gorilla chest, but I was off on what he was asking. It was the sweater.
Yeah,
Dang. That's why they call him
Number
Lightning
10.
Francis.
Who sings to Homer and Buzz Aldrin while they're going?
Oh, it's
Don McLean.
James
Don
Taylor.
No, it's
James Taylor.
James Taylor.
Yeah,
Francis
dang.
gets it with James Taylor.
I was like, I
I
know
thought it
Joe
was
talking
the
about
American
this
Pie guy for
The
some
other
reason.
day.
What did you guys say? You guys both said the same
Oh,
thing.
really?
I didn't hear because it like overlapped.
I had James
Yeah, James
Taylor.
Taylor. You're gonna. I'm gonna sing to you, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
James Taylor.
I thought it was
All
the
right, there's
American
actually
Pie
2 more
guy.
questions now.
Okay,
So there was
okay.
actually... All right, number
Just
11.
run them through.
According to Abe Simpson, what was Shelbyville called during the 1910s?
I don't remember.
I remember him talking about that.
Morganville?
Francis gets another one. Francis is cleaning up tonight. This is as hot as
I
Francis
definitely
has
don't
ever
know
been.
these ones.
Francis
These are
is
really
just good with
obscure.
facts. His
Yeah.
neurons haven't been destroyed by
Which
all
we
the-
called Morganville back in those days. Yeah.
Well, this one's a follow-up.
All right.
Also, according to Abe, what used to be on the face of a nickel?
B, Bumblebee.
You're in with bumblebees.
Yeah, there you go. I'm happy that I got a couple of them. That's
You guys
good
are
to
doing
know.
well.
Baker in second for the 3. Francis with a big 6 this time.
I'll give you guys one if you haven't used this one before. But Marge is actually named after someone. Do you guys know who it is?
Which is
Matt Groening's mom.
No, I'm specifically referring to her maiden name.
Oh,
the Bouvier name?
No, I don't know what Bouvier's after.
Jacqueline Bouvier Onassis or
Onassis?
Yeah,
Jackie
Onassis.
Kennedy.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that makes sense. That is a good one.
That is an interesting little factoid. Thank you, Eamon.
Yeah, man. All right, where are we at now? Where are we at now in our silly show here? Ratings, I believe it's time for ratings, fellas.
Okay.
All right, let me share the screen here. All right. Do you guys see that?
Not yet. No.
Oh, wait,
It might just take a sec.
I have to add it to the screen.
There we go. I
There we
see
go.
it now. So are we just going to go across? Like we'll do story for each person and
Yeah,
so forth?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that worked well last time.
I like that. Yeah.
All right, so where are we at here? We are
We're
at the
here
Crepes
in
of
line.
Wrath story. For me, the story in this one's actually really good. I think that's the strong part of this episode. I'm going to give the story a 9.
Okay.
There's lots going on. There's spy intrigue. There's the whole student exchange thing, the France stuff. There's a lot going on here.
I
All
like
right.
the story quite a bit too. I would give it an 8. Not quite high as a 9, but I do think that this is a very clever written story. I like the idea of the foreign exchange. I like how they ended it too. I love how it like ends with another exchange of like spy. I think it's very well written episode.
Yep, Francis.
Yeah, I also think the story's one of the stronger points in it, but I'll give it a 7. A little harder on
Tough
the old,
marker,
Francis.
Francis.
Frank ass
I'm
Francis
harsh.
over there. My God.
Yeah.
No, man, I like
Welcome
it.
to my math class, motherfuckers.
Yeah, no. Dave.
I'm going 9 on story.
Okay, yeah. So we got 2 9s. What do you think, Eamon?
I'm gonna go for like a 6 on story. I think it was smart, but it just doesn't make sense why someone would be punished by being put in an exchange program. And yeah,
But Skinner knows why. Skinner knows what this is.
It's like Bart's being rewarded purely because Skinner just doesn't want to deal with him anymore. You know, he's like pawning him off. I agree. It is kind of
get him away.
Yeah, it's kind of dubious that would happen in real life for sure.
It's in the same season that Bart gets sent to a genius school for cheating on a test. So, you know, he fails upward pretty well.
Yeah,
even though,
he fails upward.
Listen,
Humor. Oh, this one's pretty good, but not great. I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm actually right there with you, Davan. I didn't think it was super funny. I thought it was okay. It was a pretty funny episode. I had a couple good laughs.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'll go 5 on humor. There's
It's
some
because he always
really
has to be
funny-
one less than us.
No.
There's some really funny quips. No, there's some really funny quips that had me chuckle, but like the consistency of the funny just wasn't there for me.
Yeah,
it really wasn't.
I'll go
No
8.5 on humor.
Okay. Our first
know what?
0.5. Are we allowing the 0.5s? Is this?
No, we don't do 0.5s on this show.
You did it
Dave.
before. You let me do it before.
Just let
No,
him
I
do the
didn't.
0.5. He's a guest.
Oh, I did. Okay.
You did let me do it.
Okay. All right, you can do it. What do you want to give it?
8.5.
0.5.
8.5. All right.
That's why I made this spreadsheet. I gave you guys decimals for this reason.
Okay, they're just for you. That's fine.
Gives us a little more wiggle
All right.
room.
Well, we can do it now. I'm gonna have to consider.
Yeah, now that the cookie
future
jar has been
ratings.
opened, maybe
I'm gonna
start
go
doing
for a 6 because I do feel like as many jokes as missed, and the jokes that hit weren't the best.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Tough guy.
Fair enough.
Eamon's it's hard to please.
Well, yes, because I know that
No.
this is a season 1 episode.
Yeah,
Raised
this
a hard
is great.
note.
There's such highs that we have yet to reach.
This is my life story.
The
Good for
heart's
you.
not really there in this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the heart in this one like a 3.
Yeah. I hate to just copy you, Davan, but I do think I would give this one. Honestly, I actually, looking at my last 2, I think I'd give this a 2. There's not really much heart here.
No, there isn't.
Aside from like Bart
Marge
missing his
the-
family.
him and yeah.
It's very ho-hum. I will briefly say, because we're going to Dave anyway, and Dave, this episode I know is very special to you. So that's one of the cool things about The Simpsons is how different episodes can resonate to different people and mean more to them based on their own life experiences. So like, it's a 2 for me, but I never went to foreign exchange thing.
Yeah, well, I'd say, I'll let Francis go with his rating next, and then
You know what? I'm actually gonna give the heart.
I'm dropping
go
this.
a little higher than you guys on this one.
Classic Davan altering his.
I know he always gets halfway through and he's like,
second guesses himself.
I do.
I'm gonna give the heart a 4. Like there wasn't a lot of heart dynamic like between the Simpsons and the family, and I think that's a lot of the ways we gauge the heart in these episodes. But I think like Bart's journey of self-discovery was kind of neat. Getting out there, having to go through this misery, and then find himself, learn French. Which, speaking of which, now I was thinking about this earlier. Does the fact that he knows French ever come up again in this series?
And I wanted to mention that because I think that's disappointing. But I guess you could believe that since no one ever says it to him again, he forgets it.
Hot take, boys. I kind of wish that The Simpsons, at least after a certain amount of time, started to age up characters and pay more attention to continuity, like Bart knowing French. They keep resetting things forever, and it starts getting very stale.
Well, yeah, because they even mentioned in the letter, like, oh, Maggie's about to say her first word, and
that was funny.
Yeah, and that's like ages. Yeah, and never happens.
Maggie could have been a great character.
Maggie may say her first word any day now.
Because we see glimpses of what Maggie might have been like as an adult or as a teenager.
Yeah, like that future one where we see like she's like this annoying teenager that never shuts up. You know?
Will you shut up there?
Yeah.
But she still
what did
never
you give it,
talks.
Francis?
4.
I said 4 for the heart.
All right. Alrighty.
Heart, I'll go a. I feel like the letter.
You got to give it a 10 because it reflected your own being.
No, I feel like the only thing that has heart in it is the letter from Marge to Bart. So I feel like, but that carries a lot. So I would, I'd go 7.
Okay. Dave's high on the first season compared to the rest.
I am gonna say I agree with that. That's really the only heartful moment. And I do really like that heartful moment, but because it's the only moment and it lasts like half a minute, maybe,
you certainly have done awfully well for.
God, sorry.
I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10.
Fair. Hold on, Eamon. You can call Dave father. You don't have to call him dad.
Yeah.
Father.
No, I'm just kidding. You can call him whatever you'd like.
Call him Dave, like Bart only calls Homer.
No, don't give him these ideas.
The original air date was the 15th of April, 1990.
Yeah.
And the first episode to feature Agnes Skinner, and the only episode to feature nice Agnes.
Hey, just hit enter there, Davan, because you're still in the cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
You go. So all right, that's our ratings. So
what's our collective rating?
A little
5.8
collective
out of 10.
rating.
5.8.
Yeah, that's about where it should be.
Down.
Yeah. Hey guys, fun fact.
I think that's where it should be.
Fun fact: this is James L. Brooks' favorite episode. He's on the record. This is his favorite. Also, this episode got very high ratings. It is often ranked as one of the greater episodes of The Simpsons. So it's interesting that we didn't like. It was kind of.
I liked it.
Well, I know you did, Dave. I know, but it's interesting that a lot of
Americans and Dave have issues with the French, so they love it.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, it has issues with Americans.
You know, the Louisiana Purchase,
definitely.
Lafayette, World War I and II. Like, you'd think France and America would get along better. It's interesting.
They do.
The Statue of Liberty.
Well, even go back to the American
Revolution
so
much
and
alike.
the French Revolution.
Yeah, Lafayette. That's what I'm saying. Like, they helped with the American Revolution.
And the Americans helped them with the French Revolution.
Yeah.
Well, helped them.
Yeah. They imported those radical, pesky ideas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thanks,
you can
everybody.
Find us on YouTube.
Thanks, guys, for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Contact us at kbbbl@gmail.com, the audio-only version, wherever you get your podcasts. And we are a proud member of this very united federation of planets. Did I say planets?
Yeah.
You said planets.
Yeah, podcasts. Not the planets too. We're a member of Earth. where you can see many fine podcasts, including this one, of course. But also Hold Up, a movie podcast with me and Murphy. Next one's going to be on journalism, where we're going to go see The Network, The Year of Living Dangerously, and Nightcrawler. We're going to review those. And check out Super Mater Brothers. What's up over there?
We'll be back very soon. We're gonna be looking at Survivor. It's got a new season coming out on March 1st, so we're gonna be doing our season draft very soon. Looking at the cast preview in the next few weeks, and Big Brother Canada is starting up in March as well. We're gonna be covering that 3 times a week. And Marvel, next week. Actually, that's actually happening before all that. We got the Mary Mater Marvel Society, and Davan and Jaemeel and I are going to be talking about Ant-Man, the Ant-Man and Wasp. Was it Quantumania? Is that how we say it?
Quantumania. Yep, Ant-Man and Wasp,
Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Yeah, so that's next
Looking forward to it. Looks crazy.
Yeah,
also,
looks
X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Andre and I talk about the X-Men animated review show, or the animated series, and we, interview people who did voices on.
Yeah,
drew,
a lot of really interesting
wrote
guests.
the show. Yeah, man, we're a part of the X-Men world now.
Yeah, man, you're plugged in. You're plugged in.
Yeah, man, we're plugged right in there. You
You're
don't
mutants.
even know. You
You're
don't
all
even
mutants.
know.
I remember the first time I
You
put on
knew what I knew.
Eamon probably doesn't remember this. When Eamon was little, like 8 or 7 or something, I remember might not have even been me. I think it was Jeff actually, but Jeff put on X-Men the animated series for him, and we're like, "Here, watch this," and he was like, "Oh, look at this!" He was all like, it caught his attention for at least a couple hours one day.
I definitely like X-Men. I love X-Men the animated series. It's definitely great. Yeah,
it's classic.
Sure.
Yeah.
And my co-host Andre on X-Rated has the Graphic Histories podcast. He just had an episode go up today. Second part of his interview with Marvel artist David Cullen. So check that out. In the Hellbound podcast with Alex Blackburn and Michael Chan, they talk about horror movies. They just had a new episode come out this week. Yeah, I'm going to check that out very soon myself. On horror stuff, you never know with those guys. Like their show's pretty crazy. You just got to listen to it.
It's a little, yeah. Sometimes it's an interview. Sometimes it's like a role play. Sometimes they just talk about a scary movie. So it's always in that horror theme. And Alex Blackburn, he runs a big horror festival over there in England. So
yeah, the Hellbound Horror Festival.
Yeah,
Trivial Debates. The next one's on love.
We're doing a love theme. I'm looking for a couple of contestants. If anyone here is looking to throw their hat into the ring, I think
I'll join for that. Sure.
Yeah, I think we had. Davan, did you actually put your hand up for this one or no? I can't remember.
I was just trash talking.
Oh yeah,
but I can get in there if you need.
Surprise!
Jody,
you guys ever play poker with this motherfucker? All he does is talk shit. He's the worst.
I can see that.
Oh, that's a poker game. Yep, that's what you do.
Yeah,
like we were like one hand in last game, and Scott folds. I'm just like, are we here to play poker or what? Like, what are you doing? Just fold.
Yeah, but open invite, Francis Baker. Either if you guys want to.
What was the subject again? Sorry, it lagged for me.
Love Valentine's Day kind of theme.
I think I'd provide an interesting angle considering I'm single.
You want to be the host?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and then let Jody compete.
Yeah.
All right.
Would be interesting.
All right, well, I'll compete against Jody. If Jody's competing, I won't.
All right. I think we got it forming here, and that will come out later this month. We'll probably do that in last Sunday in February, which will be 26th.
Well, Eamon is the best Trivial Debates host. Says
hey,
Sam's
a big fan.
There you have it.
And what's going on with Let's Talk About Fighting Games, Eamon?
Yeah, Eamon. That's also a podcast.
To be completely honest, I've been focusing on my job recently.
Yeah,
and
you've raised a diligent young man.
Yes,
he'll bring glory to your house.
I've been procrastinating. If you want me to be completely honest,
I'm just I don't want you to be dishonest.
Check out Live Long a podcast if you like Star Trek, because we have a ton of Star Trek shows. Like
so many Star Trek podcasts.
Myself. Yeah,
Monday nights, Enterprise, Deep Space Nine on Tuesdays. We got Star Trek Picard coming back this Thursday. We're gonna be talking about the new season 3 premiere. We still don't know what even the name of the episode is. I don't think so.
They never tell us that shit anymore.
Yeah,
and we got the Ops Division. We do Star Trek Radio Theater, Writers Room. We play Star Trek Online sometimes, stuff like that. The science division. I launch probes. We do debates. We retrieve those very probes. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. And we do a lot of other fun things. We geek tall challenges, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, me and Dave Puxley talking at length about the world and Star Trek and the world through the lens of Star Trek. On Locutors of
You
Trek.
guys were on today, right? You did Treckle Trunk this morning?
We did Treckle Trunk today. Yeah, we reviewed some Star Trek issues 3 and 4. That series is really picking up. For sure. And this one, of course, Ferengi, the future is female.
Huh. Oh, that's a cool
Great
cover.
issue. Yeah, it was a great issue. Yeah, that's it. Let's get out of here, fellas.
All right.
Thanks for
Have a
joining
good night,
us, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Eamon.
Au revoir.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
I'm going to throw some antifreeze in this whiskey.
Right there, you mother.
Spanky.
Later, everybody.
See ya.
Later.
KBBBL podcast. Where the extra B is for BYOBB.
Where's my